What's up, everybody? We want to thank you for tuning in with the Catching Up with Coach show. We have a very special edition today called Murder and Mayhem, the aftermath of the streets. So we'll be just bringing in special guests, just talking about how we can come up with possible solutions to stop this uptick in our community of gun violence, gangs, and murder in our community. So we're just going to go around. We'll start with Miranda. What are some things that you think we could potentially do as advocates, coaches, mentors, parents to really fix these issues?
For me, I just want to first state the mental health aspect. I probably have said that before on shows. I just want to state that again. Mental health is really important. So for me, briefly, since we're intro, I just want to start there. Mental health inside the home with our children, parents.
Absolutely.
Like, start there.
Cool.
That's my take.
Zakia?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Catching Up with Coach. We love you. Thank you for viewing with us. I think my take on the JT is, honestly, we need the village. It doesn't just take the parents. It doesn't just take the school teachers and the school staff, but it takes everyone in the community in order for us to build the village and to support these kids. And that's what I think, honestly.
Awesome.
What about you, Chloe?
Well, honestly, I think for youth, I think starting up more programs and just more in-school activities to keep them off the streets, away from that type of stuff is really important, as it also, again, like what Miss Miranda said, it also really helps with mental health as well.
Absolutely.
James?
I love what you said, Chloe. That's very important with the programs, as well as getting more connected with the youth. That take a village, that would never die because of the strong digital platforms. Now it's taking a global effect to raise because the internet is playing a major part in our young. So I love what you said.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what James said, I totally agree. I think the biggest thing that happened with the youth today is they have so much information at their disposal. So we don't have the luxury of taking our time like some of our forefathers and foremothers did with us, where you can kind of like, if you're 8-year-old, you can kind of talk about certain topics, 10, 12,
Right.
13, and transitioning.
Absolutely.
But now, because everything in their tablets, phones, we got to have more mature conversations earlier. And I think that's something that's kind of been hard for us to transition and to tackle from my perspective.
James used connected, so for me that stood out because there's a lot of programs out here just for everybody. We'll speak to other special guests who have programs, but most of the people up here are associated or affiliated with programs. So there's programs out there, but we have to connect them to the programs. Transportation, permission from the parents, or getting the parents involved. Transportation is a major part of connection, but
Yes, it is.
connecting. So that was something that stood out.
Absolutely. Just to piggyback off of Miranda, I'm in the community every single day, so I see it firsthand. I see who's showing up, who's not showing up. I see what parents are involved. I see the product of me and my coaches or the staff volunteering, giving out waters for free out of our own pockets. I see all of these things. So there's a loss in transportation, especially in the communities that we live in, because sometimes there may be an awesome program going on, but maybe that person's mother or father doesn't drive, or maybe they're handicapped and they don't drive. And then we also see in our impoverished communities, we see a lot of people who just don't have even the $15 to pay for a summer league program because the parents like, no, we need this for the household. And when I go back to it takes a village, y'all hear me say it all the time on the show, it takes a village, because it really does take all of us. I don't raise my son on my own. I depend on multiple resources just to provide for us. This is my whole team, as you all guys know. We love y'all. We positive vibes only. So I believe that it takes a village for us to be here.
Exactly.
I think all of your collective ideas are really great. But again, with the online topic about it, I think because there's a lot of chat rooms and stuff that you might see online. So I honestly think some online programs would also help as well for those people, because there's a lot of people who don't really feel like going outside. Or again, what Ms. Miranda said, the mental health just kind of prohibits them. So honestly, I think online programs would also definitely help with just general mental health and keeping kids off the streets.
I think that's why we kind of chose this platform to do the show, because technology is taking over, right? We all know that. So by providing us with the show, we have access to more people, not just the people here sitting in the room, but people that are in Cumberland County, people that are in New Jersey, people that are in Philadelphia, that tap in and watch the show, and they see what we're going through, and they see the message that we're providing. And every week we come, we have a different topic that we talk about, and we raise awareness. And just like it's an educational platform, and that's what we're using it as, to teach each one of us and to teach you guys. So thank you for tuning in.
JT, it's funny. I'm sitting next to this genius right here, right? Because she's hitting points like she's been here 100 years. The program that we actually started, the reason I came back to Atlanta, is a digital mentorship program. 80% digital, 20% in person. So she hit it right on the nose. Now here go the second part. You always have your board of directors, but a lot of people don't have who we really need on the board, such as a Chloe.
Absolutely.
All we're doing is covering her. You know, we're the umbrella for her, but really she know more than what we know when it comes to her own peers. So at the end of the day, I think we're skipping somebody like Chloe, somebody like her peers, or whatever the case is, and putting them in the format in the group so we can hear how they really feel. We that mom and dad now that we used to get mad at when our mom and dad used to tell us the right things to do. And we used to think they was nagging. Now we are the naggers.
Exactly.
So when do we open the doors to say, hey, look how intelligent she is. Why don't we listen to her? And a lot of times we skip over that. We know it all because we've been here longer. But at the end of the day, we don't know how it feels to be her age during this era. That's the difference. It's a whole different era.
Opening up that platform for them to feel comfortable to express themselves, because a lot of times they get brushed to the side. We listen, but opening up, making them feel safe and comfortable.
Absolutely.
And like you said, pushing them to the forefront of it for their voice to be heard. And I like your hat, James.
Thank you.
I like that hat. I know Zakia asked Chloe before what was her trade, and she said culinary, so that's amazing. So I know we're talking about murder and mayhem, but mentioning a trade is another option for our children, because a lot of our community is on a what's that? Fast money, fast, quick. Quick. So let's open that up for them to a lot of trades. Maybe they can't get into CC Tech, but let's provide some other options as far as programs so they can learn a trade if college isn't right for them. So just broadening their horizons all the way around the board.
Yeah, if anybody was tuning in last year, a couple months ago, we held the Youth Entrepreneur showcase, where any youth that had a business or that was interested in business came out. We provided food. They talked about what they wanted to do, the businesses they were providing, and in exchange we had an adult one. And what I did was I made all the adults and businesses make a pledge and say, hey, you're going to provide resources for one of our students or one of our youth to come and learn your specific trade. Teach them the ins and outs of your trade.
Did they follow up on that, though?
Some of them did, and it's still ongoing.
Okay.
I just want to say it's still ongoing.
Initiation, we can initiate all day. We can meet all day, talk all day, but you got to follow up, make sure that people are doing what they're saying they're going to do.
I think especially with the teens right now, consistency is so important. The minute they see you lacking, it's over. You lose all engagement. So you have to engage with these children, meet them where they're at, and you have to build a rapport. They're not going to like you from the beginning. They're not going to feed into everything that you say, but your consistency is what matters. If the consistency that they're seeing you, that they believe in you, and you believe in yourself. They're not going to believe in anyone who doesn't have the confidence, right? So we all stand up here with confidence that we can help someone. When I wake up every day, like I just told Mr. James about an hour or two ago, I told him every day I wake up with a purpose of helping someone. I don't wake up and say, oh, I don't feel like getting out of bed. Every day I'm like, what's the next step to help someone? Who can I help today? And that's the mindset we have to have going into the future, especially to help our children.
Exactly. And I think a lot of kids and people don't understand the aftermath, of the consequences.
Right.
Because a lot of times, like they say, when you have a murder, there's two victims usually, both sides. The person that got killed, obviously, and their family, and then the family of the individual that has to get arrested. And I don't think people understand the lasting effects of pulling the trigger, stabbing somebody, or just assault, or whatever it may be to cause a person to be deceased. And then you get arrested, and you don't understand now you make a whole generational cause and effect.
Absolutely.
Now you may get 50 years life or whatever it may be. Now your brothers is at risk, your mom, your sisters, and then now there's families warring against each other, and it's just
Absolutely.
on and on and on and on. And how can we spread that message to our youth that it doesn't just stop at one incident? It's a snowball effect, and that's what we want you to be aware of.
Just education. We just did a pilot experiment for a police simulator at CC Tech. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but they have a police simulator there. And I had just the honor of being the MC there, so it was pretty awesome and cool. But it actually let the kids see what the police encounter on their first instance. Just to understand the mindset, understand what they're going through, and the safety that they want to get home to their loved ones. So it kind of gave them a different perspective of what law enforcement expects, with us also educating them on this is what to do and what not to do when interacting with a police officer. And that just took them home with so much education in a fun setting. We did quizzes, we did food, and we had an amazing time, and they were able to participate in the simulator, and that was pretty cool. So providing those kind of experiences where they get the chance to actually see, whoa, I didn't know this is what they were encountering.
The hands-on.
Yeah, the hands-on. Hands-on is very beneficial nowadays, along with technology. Don't get me wrong. Technology is like the #1 thing, especially with the new viral TikToks and different things like that, and the different ads that you see. Look, I'm always creating commercials. Y'all know I'm always creating something fun, something special to interact with the children.
Cool. James, anything?
I definitely want to piggyback off of her. It's important. She hit everything on points. The digital is just one aspect, but that hands-on is just something about going into the neighborhoods. And I'm here for a reason that all of you just touched, and that was for the youth, right? 2 years ago, I was called to come back home, but I didn't. I was doing what I was doing. But when you got teenagers inboxing you, Mr. Cooper, I was in your Fed Up For You program. Oh, I got a son now that I would love to incorporate. I would also love to be a mentor now.
Nice.
I couldn't hold back. So but that's that hands-on, because in that program it was a hands-on. And when I say it was a community, it was every Monday we used to meet, and the two in this audience can contest to it. Every Monday we'll meet with different organizations, with different individuals, from Mr. Kelly to Pastor Duncan to Jennifer Webb, one of my good friends, to John Frucor. And we would meet and come up with ideas. And everybody would piggyback off of everybody, and it worked, but that was a hands-on. When it came to going to Burlington Manor, Amity Heights, Pan Philly, everybody couldn't do that. It took a special group of people to go in some of these neighborhoods, and then the Walnut Manors and the 6th Streets and the park and all that. It took us, Delsey Gardens, Wade East. It took a special group of people to be able to go in and touch these young people, to pull them into the program. And just like you said, transportation was the biggest thing. If we didn't have 2 buses that had to double up and triple up sometimes to get the kids to the Arms Center, a lot of them kids wouldn't have been in that program.
Right.
So you hit it on the point.
That's the truth. Yeah, and I think one thing that I learned from sitting down doing some of our third-party intervention, the kids was telling me how important awareness is, and a lot of the beef starts, like whole wars, is Facebook stuff, like social media. So I was shocked by that. Like, say if I shared something like right now, and another young lady got on social media and said, I didn't like the shirt Chloe had on. So We thinking the beef done started over something major. All what we got to do to get our young people. But the beef started over us sharing something positive.
Absolutely.
One of Chloe's friends see a kid from Violin comment they didn't like her shirt. Now the whole beef starts.
Absolutely.
So then when you got a football game, Louisville versus Violin, everybody like, why are they so mad at each other? They're mad at each other simply over somebody commenting about her shirt.
Yep.
And a whole big beef, lives get lost over the simplest things. And I'm lost for words of how we can like reel that in and let them know like, just calm down and, you know, preservation of life and value of life. I don't know how we can spread that message.
I know for me, accountability for 2023, 2024 is most important on my list. I'm holding everyone accountable, not just me as a parent, but you as a coach, you as a school teacher, you as a person in the community, you as a grandmother, you as the person sitting in the audience watching our TV show, to take accountability and make a change, because that's the only way it's going to start. It's not going to start by us just sitting here talking about it. It's going to take the people out there. It's going to take the people here, the people sitting out here in the audience, for all of us to be together, come together as one, and start an actual team.
You're right.
Wow.
You're right. You're right.
Well, everybody, we'll be back after these short messages with more powerful guests. We're going to have John Fuqua on and Lady Prosecutor Jennifer Webb McCray. So make sure you stay tuned, and hopefully we can continue to save our youth.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find Him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find Him. That's by personal experience with Him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to Him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Are you just part of the crowd?
Do you feel isolated and alone?
Do you wish someone would see your gifts?
Would you like to be seen as an individual?
A person of value.
Full of life and purpose. Part of a family that cares?
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. so you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Commercial.
What's up, everybody? We're back with the Catching Up with Coach show. We have two powerful guests on making major impacts in our community here in South Jersey, Cumberland County. We're going to start with John Fuqua, Life Worth Living. Can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind, you starting your whole program, man?
I would call it, I wouldn't say it's an inspiration. I would say it was a reason. I had a nephew, Rakeem Lamar Stubbs, who was a good athlete, good student, and those kids here where we live and across the country, those young men and young women that are excelling in the classroom and on the field often start not only getting recruited by local coaches, but they start getting recruited by local gangs. Yeah. And that's what happened with my nephew. Unfortunately, at the time, when Rakeem was in the midst of being recruited by local gangs, the only person I was thinking about was myself. Wow. I was living in Jersey City. My goal was to make it out of Bridgeton. I was never coming back. My nephew called me and said he wanted to move with me to Jersey City, but I wasn't mature enough and I wasn't ready to take on the responsibility of being a father. He called me a second year in a row. When I came back, it was kind of too late for him. He was already immersed in the game. He had already started getting that street cred. His rep was growing. And it wouldn't take long. It was 10 months later. He was on the ground in Bristol Villas. My mom was too. I lost two family members on December the 24th, 2008. My life was forever changed. I didn't choose the route that I'm in. This life chose me. I'm a certified teacher. I grew up in Amity Heights. I grew up around every opportunity that I could have been a criminal. I decided that I want to do something else at a very young age. And now, man, what I do now, Life Worth Living, I'm excited about it. I run a nonprofit that started 3 years ago with an opportunity from a local group gave me $10,000 to start my company. Melissa Helmbrick of UAG asked me if I could get one thing from her. What would it be? I asked her to pay for a grant and write it full-time for me, and she did. Right now we're operating on about $1.8 million budget. I have a staff of around 20, and we're covering everything that we possibly can when it comes to reducing violence in our community. From working with the probation department, we got a contract where we deal with all the youth that's on probation in Cumberland County, so we do life skills with those young people. Miranda is one of the people that work for us inside of the schools. If it has to do with life, we're involved, and that's the message for us.
Yes.
Wow. That's powerful. That's good stuff, man. Salute. Anything?
I was just going to say it's been an honor and a pleasure. It really opened my eyes, for one, to go into the high school and actually be present for each of the situations. And what you go in and you may want to talk about, you have on the curriculum that day, we may not cover that day because there may be other issues, personal, deep, that we want to pull, may have to pull to the side and deal with. So that brought me joy to be able to help, maybe if not all the students in the program, but maybe a handful or a couple, or a female here, a male here. So it's a great program, and hands-on, being present and being there for the children and their needs, and at that time, you know what I mean? So it's a great organization.
Awesome.
In their work.
I conducted a study with school-based kids. And I simply just went into schools and simply asked them, did anyone ask you how you were today? And everyone said no. I didn't get one yes from every kid that walked into the school. The study was 205 kids. Wow. Right? So no one asked them when they woke up this morning, when they went to the bus stop, or they walked to school, or how they got to school. No one asked them, how are you doing today? Everyone is expected to be okay. So that kind of opened my eyes to see, and everyone knows me from my mental health therapist position, that I'm always asking questions. I'm always looking for insight for people. And it made me realize, like, there's a bigger need than just me, So that's why we joined the teams.
Wow, cool. You know, and I know we joined forces the past few years with an event called Youth versus Drugs, Guns, and Gangs basketball game.
Absolutely.
We had a flag football game going on for some years, but me and John said, listen, everybody don't play
flag football. Yeah.
So let's do basketball. And that's been very impactful, spreading that message of helping our young people understand there's more to life than drugs, guns, and gangs. And that's been successful. We had it over the weekend. Had a good turnout. Could have been better. But the reason why we pressed on to have the game, you know, we spoke to the kids about and the mentors and coaches involved. A lot of people was discouraging us to even have the game leading up to it because there's supposed to be like a war going on right now between Bridgeton and Millville. But me and John was like, nah, man, you know, for us to say we're going to cancel a game that's our games that actually talk to the issues at hand is needed more. And we got to stop letting the negativity let us shut things down. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody lost their life, so we're going to say, well, we're not going to have a positive event because of that. That's kind of like, you know, counterproductive. So I'm glad that John didn't say, nah, we're not coming to Millville because it's not safe. You know, I feel as though we take our lives right now as a living sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what, we're in the trenches. We're at ground zero, so to speak. And we're just going to continue to work together to make it a better
Yeah, absolutely. This is ground zero. Absolutely. I was in a meeting with John earlier, and I just want you to say what you said. I don't even want to say it because you hit it right on. Go ahead. You hit it right on earlier.
I say as high as I can. But one of the things that I want y'all to understand is this. I'm sitting next to the most powerful prosecutor in the state of New Jersey. And I don't say that because she's here. I say that when she's not in the room with me. Me and this lady had an opportunity to be a part of the interdisciplinary circle for the Attorney General office. There was only 15 people chosen in the state of New Jersey, and me and our prosecutor was the only 2 people from South Jersey. What we have an opportunity to do is, though, we have an opportunity to shape policy. That's what's going to change everything for us. One of the things that I'm tired of us saying that we don't have stuff. Somebody in that group told me, they said, John, there are abundance of resources here, you're just not getting them. So one of the things that we've decided to do is we're going to tap into resources. We're no longer saying they're not here. We're going to start working on policy, and because me and Madam Prosecutor have had an opportunity to do that, we're seeing stuff change right now. The Watson Institute out of King University did a group of roundtables last year. They went to 10 counties. Cumberland County was one of them. Again, me and the prosecutor was 2 of the people here that was on the panel, along with Mr. Llanos, Superintendent of Violence Schools, Kurt Edwards, Dave Moore from the hospital. And we had an opportunity to voice our opinions and our concerns from our constituents in our community. While doing so, we shared a lot of information. It was very powerful. Watson was going to go back to the state and the federal government with 10 points to go after funding that was geared towards the end of the fiscal year, which was July 31st, because it was going to be money left on the budget for next year. So they was aiming to get those things that we talked about on those 10 points. Guess what, guys? Out of those 10 points, 7 of them came from Cumberland County. 7 of them. And what they end up doing with those 10 points was each point they connected a statute with money that's already been allocated in our state. So for example, one of the things I talk about all the time is we spend $600,000 incarcerated youth for 1 year, but we spend between $17,000 to $25,000 to educate them. Well, guess what Watson did? They put that on the list. So now we're looking for more money to do wraparound services for after-school programs. The first point on the list was after-school extensions, more programming, more activities. And what they found was inside of our state, there's already $187 million earmarked for things like that. So it's just about us talking about policy. One of the things me and the prosecutor had the opportunity to do was we've been working with lobbying firms that shake the trees in D.C. So we have a great opportunity coming up next year where we have $1 million earmark for a summer camp that's going to be provided for free for the kids of Cumberland County. How do you sustain that? Well, we found out there's $187 million. We're going to be able to help sustain that for the next 5 years if we get some of that money. So it's about us doing those things, and that's what I want us to be encouraged. One of the things that we've become used to doing here is fighting over the crumbs that they've thrown us.
Absolutely.
We got to stop doing that. That ain't nothing but the setup. The setup has always been I'm going to throw $200,000 out there. 10 organizations going to apply for it. Only one going to get it.
One.
Right?
Yep.
So guess what we do at Life Worth Living? We don't go after no grants by ourselves. Everything that we do is a collaboration with somebody else. If it's $200,000, we'll take $25,000.
Yep.
We share the load.
Working together.
There's no one that can say that they've never had an opportunity to work with us, because I call everybody. The first thing I say is, who can we work with on this?
Yep.
Because this is bigger than us. So that's what I want us to be. I just want us to be encouraged. We have opportunities. I heard y'all talking about that village. That village is very important. And one of the things I need all of us to remember too, right now, one of the most successful businesses right now is one ran by Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos figured it out. He's knocking on your door. It's at your front door. It's at the front door. So in everything that we do at Life Worth Living, we knock on doors. We go have difficult conversations with everybody that we got to talk to. We're going to get past the difficulties, then we're going to work together, whether that be parents, whether that be organizations. If I could say this lady right here, we used to go at each other, didn't we? For a long time. But we have a mutual respect for each other. And we have an unbelievable working relationship. So that's my spiel.
That is powerful. This is a powerful table right here.
Powerful,
I thank you for allowing me to be right here in this corner, for real.
So, Madam Prosecutor, if you can speak to some of the issues that you see in our county and ways that we can all pull together to fight to make a change and continue to make that impact.
Fight to make a change and row in the same direction. So I was taking notes because all the things that have been brought to the table are amazing suggestions. I'm going to start with, the power of life and death is in the tongue. Right?
Yes.
So I just refuse to breathe death into our community. I'm going to continue to breathe life into our community. Yes, we have challenges, that are rooted in the poverty that we experience here in Cumberland County, but we have a lot of strengths as well.
Absolutely.
In terms of people of goodwill who want to row in the same direction to make good things happen in our community. But I think there are some things myths that have to be dispelled. And one of those myths is that there's nothing here for kids in this county. That is a categorical lie. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of really good things going on. What I find is a lot of people say that because they haven't made themselves informed of what is available. And I just want for the listeners, for them to know that there's a site called futureremix.org. And that came after the mass shooting in Fairfield Township. We worked with the hospital system and created the website and an advertising campaign so that kids would have a spot where they could go if they want to look for positive activities in our community. And that is futureremix.org. But to capitalize on that, what we do at the prosecutor's office is we curate the events in the community for young people and youth with trusted organizations that have a track record of picking up the phone and doing what they say they're going to do. So if you go to that website, there's a calendar of events for young children all the way up to old children. The Family Success Centers, the Boys and Girls Clubs, the PALS, Life Worth Living, Positive Vibes. There are a number of organizations that put their activities up there. So I challenge everyone to go there right now and see the activities in the community that families and youth can participate in. We need more pro-social events, meaning places where kids can go and they can interface with positive role models. We need way more conflict resolution because some of the tragedies that we've experienced recently in our community related to juvenile violence, when you get to the root of what people are shooting at each other about, it's not even the sale of drugs. It's a beef that happened on Facebook or somebody said something somebody didn't like, and we have children dead as a result of that. So we really need to, teach our young folks how to problem solve, deal with conflict without thinking that they need to pick up a firearm to do so. And we need to ask the question, why is there a proliferation of firearms in our community, and why are they getting into the hands of young people?
Absolutely.
You know, when I charge someone, a parent or an older person with, you know, misusing a firearm and it gets into the hand of a child, people are like, oh, why should we detain them? Because they weren't responsible in possessing firearms, and it got into the hands of the wrong person. And we have to have that discussion in the greater community, but we also have to have that discussion in our community. We have to talk about parental involvement, and I'm not blaming parents because I've been a working parent the entire time. My 26-year-old was an infant all the way up till now. But if parents have to work the hours that they work and can't be with their kids, we have to figure out ways to keep kids safe in the community and supervised. We have to ask the question, why are there 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds that are out at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning?
Absolutely.
Oftentimes, I'm not blaming parents. It's because they have to just work to make ends meet. And if we have to come up with solutions that meet the needs of our family and our communities, then so be it. But I don't want to be prosecuting another child because we've charged juveniles with, you know, killing other juveniles. And I want to be part of that solution. So maybe it's a Twilight program. Maybe it's, you know, mentoring programs. But we have to figure it out because we have to be responsible for each other. Absolutely. We do have programs in our community that, you know, we're working on that we're very proud of. We have a program called Cumberland County Identify, Notify, Care. It's called CC Inc. It's for the 50 most at-risk youth who are not involved in the system as of yet. And we are looking for the young people who have older brothers and sisters in prison, older brothers and sisters who are affiliated with gangs, because we want to break that cycle of, you know, this is a lifestyle that I'm familiar with, this is the lifestyle that I want to go into, because it's an okie doke.
Absolutely.
If they go into that lifestyle, the chances that they will not be alive by the time they hit the age of 30 go up exponentially. If they become a shooter or are shot and survive, the chances that they will not survive till the age of 30 go up exponentially. So we ask the question, why do you have to get on probation to get life skills, to get enrichment programs? And we created CC Inc. And I'm proud to say that we're working with Life Worth Living. They are the case managers for the programs. They provide the pro-social activities. And if we don't save every kid, if we save one kid, it's enough for me, because we have to do something different to expect different results. We also have a program called Real Talk, which is a dialogue between kids and police. You know, I used to tell my son, when you get stopped by the police, keep your hands on 2 and 10 so you can come home safely. This is actually sitting police officers down with kids so kids can talk about how they feel when they encounter police, so police can tell kids why they do some of the things that they do, and hopefully build a dialogue of understanding. We have another program called Policing the Teen Brain, educating all of the police officers in the county as to understand why kids act up the way they do, why they challenge authority, why they might not make the best decisions, so that police officers have better understanding about, and compassion and empathy for kids and the stupid things they do. Because every time I go into an event and I ask the adults to raise their hands or raise their hands if they remember doing something stupid as a child, everybody raises their hand, right? So we are also working on mental health. We have a program called Embed, where we are getting ready to embed a social worker in the Millville Police Department. So as police encounter families who have mental health issues, who have family dysfunction, they can be referred to the social worker and get the case management and help that they want. It's a proof of concept program, and we're hoping, if we have success with it, that we can duplicate it within the other police departments in the county. And finally, we have a goal of training at least 50% of our police officers with crisis intervention training within the next 3 years, because we've been doing it for 2 years, so that police officers have a better understanding of what mental health crisis looks like, and compassion for the people that they interact and deal with. So those are some of the things that are on the table, but I cannot stress enough the importance of realizing that we're in this together. We're either going to sink or swim together. And yes, we have our challenges, but we have a lot of strengths. And when I feel the pressure, because some of the things that we're addressing, some of the deaths that we've experienced are tragic, I realize that it's just our turn. We know how to turn things around better than most communities, and we will keep pressing forward to hit the mark of making this it is a beautiful place to live. I could have lived anywhere in the country and worked and been successful, but I chose to come home because there's just something about living in a small community where we don't experience crazy traffic, high home prices, but we have to shame the devil and talk about the challenges that we have and do something different to change them.
If I could say something, I don't want none of y'all to get mad at me, but I'm gonna say it. The village is fine, right? But the village is comprised of individual homes, right? And each individual home is parents. The parents are the first line of defense in our village.
Absolutely.
If you have a son or a daughter that's behind your door, acting a fool, acting a foul, and you've done everything in your power to help your child, it's your responsibility as a parent to report to the village that I need help. You do not have the right to unleash your child on the village and expect us to figure it out.
Absolutely.
You got to let us know what's going on. So the kid that's punching and stabbing at 8, 9, that's punching and kicking at 8 and 9 years old, 9 times out of 10 at 11 and 12, he's going to be stabbing. At this point now, at 14, he's going to be shooting. We can't get that information for you when he finally got the gun in his hand and he's down at the police station.
Absolutely, that accountability.
You need to let us know what's going on now because we can't go with the surprises. That young man might act a certain way around Coach JT. That young lady might act a certain way around Miss Miranda, but at home he giving his mom problems. I done talked to moms on the phone with us in the middle of a crisis, and she hiding in the closet because her son holding her hostage in her house. And I'm going, how long did it get to this point? How long did it take to get to this point?
Absolutely.
So those are the uncomfortable conversations that we got to have with our parents because once we get to that, then that's the root of the problem. You tell us what's going on so we can know how to attack it. For instance, we like Madam Prosecutor said, we have the CC Inc. program. We're seeing a lot of kids right now who, when I talk to some parents, they think because their kids get a certain size, that the kids is mature enough to handle their business.
Exactly.
Your son is still 14. Even if he's 6'1", he's 14.
Still got to tell him to bathe probably. You know what I'm saying? Take a shower. You can't give up that.
We know 40-year-olds that don't got themselves together.
Absolutely.
How you having these higher expectations for your son?
Thank you.
Now the son done got caught a gun charge. He's 13. Now we sit him down and we say, yo man, where you get the gun from? It was under my mom's bed. It was her boyfriend's. Come on, that's what the kids see.
Absolutely.
So then you want to be out here saying, "Oh, the school's got to do more. The mayor need to do something. Why the prosecutor ain't doing nothing? Don't none of us have a key to your house?
Nobody.
My grandmama used to say, "If you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas." And even to this day, I like literally this weekend, I had a conversation with my 26-year-old son about, you know, you can just associate with somebody who you think is cool, but you know they do a little bit on the side, and you can bring murder and mayhem to your family's home, right? So we just, if we know better, we have to do better, and we should talk about the fact that it should be stigma free. But we should all live in an atmosphere of accountability.
Absolutely.
Right? And all be accountable for our village and our neighborhood. Now, I live in a nice environment where if I see something crazy outside my house, I feel comfortable running out and saying, "What are you doing? Get off my sidewalk, blah, blah, blah." But I am empathetic and understand that there are communities where people don't feel comfortable doing that. However, You can call 911. You can hit up the anonymous tip line. There are a lot of ways that we have built accountability into the system that if you're not comfortable just coming out, because I don't live in a bubble. I understand people are afraid somebody's just going to retaliate because you spoke, like you corrected their kid. But we are creating ways for people to hold folks accountable without even putting themselves in harm's way, if that's what needs to be done. But we have to have the hard conversations. And when I say stigma-free, we have to be saying to ourselves, by the grace of God go I.
Absolutely.
Because you know, there's no family that is immune to what's going on in this world.
Absolutely.
You can be instilling the right values into your child, into your family, and still have a child who goes astray.
That's right.
And so let's be judgment free.
Absolutely.
But let's have real conversations about how we can do self-correction.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to say one more thing. I really think in our culture, we really try to be friends with our kids. I am not here to be anyone's friend. I don't care if you like me. I'm going to tell you the pure, honest truth, and I'm going to give you good judgment. And I'm going to recognize the red flags and make sure you recognize the red flags in order to be a productive individual, right? That's what we all strive for. So when I think about what he said about the community, the accountability comes to mind automatically, just like Madam Prosecutor said. Accountability, if we're not holding our parents accountable, just like, for instance, at our basketball games, there's kids entering the basketball games with no parent, right? The minute we allow that, the minute there's chaos. Right, so we have to take the rules back, and people get upset. But this is for everyone's safety. It's not just for one person. It's not for a coach. It's not because we don't like a specific person, but it's for everyone's safety. So accountability is such a big deal in 2023, 2024, moving forward. Holding the parents accountable, the coaches accountable, people in the community accountable, right along with everybody else.
And that's key. And I think even services for our young ladies, it seems like even when we talk a lot about murder and mayhem in the streets, we kind of focus in on the young men. But even seeing some of the things, like a lot of the young ladies don't understand their roles that they play in keeping things escalating.
Absolutely.
And it makes a lot of situations go from where the boys sometimes may be willing to even try to squash it, but now when you get the girls mixed in, it causes a whole other issue of, oh, well, he said this, she said this. And
Absolutely.
And now it snowballs, and then a lot of the young ladies feel bad after me and John kill each other. And they didn't think it was going to be that deep. Oh, we just trying to play them against each other. But nah, JT got mad enough to take his life. Now she's depressed and messed up because, oh, that I ain't want John to die. But they got to understand it gets that deep. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand.
And thoughts and prayers are not enough. So again, we have tragic things that happen in our community.
Absolutely.
We, as law enforcement, we know what happened, but we can't take action unless somebody's willing to come forward, because we have this beautiful thing called the Constitution where you have a right to face your accusers. But don't complain in your community when we give you mediums where you can provide the information so that we can put it together, and you're not even using that. I understand why you may not feel comfortable coming forward because you're afraid of retaliation, and we can't provide you with 24-hour protection. But when we provide you mediums where you can submit information electronically, anonymously, and we can then put the pieces together through the video cameras, the other mediums that we have, and you're not even doing that. My grandmother used to say, evil flourishes when good men remain silent.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And I'm not blaming our community, but we have to talk about the fact that we allow people to walk with impunity when we all know that they did something to hurt or harm or make the place we live terrible to live in.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
A few times you mentioned a couple of quotes, one from your grandmother and mother. We need people with that wisdom sharing those quotes.
I think we are the people now.
But that's what I'm saying.
We are the people now.
That's what I'm saying.
Cooper, we getting old.
That's what I'm saying. We need that.
Right?
We need that.
Guys, those people are here already. One of the things is we haven't provided them that platform.
Absolutely.
Those people are afraid to open their mouths at times.
Mhm.
So one of the things that we have to do is we have to have an understanding that in the world that we live in, there's going to be good and evil.
Absolutely.
I tell a prosecutor all the time because she's always worried about my safety, and I always tell her, I'm a God-fearing man. Whatever here is going to come to me, going to come to me.
It is.
But at the end of the day, we can't be afraid. We can't live in fear. If we living in fear, we bind it to the narrative that was sold to us. We was told that being around each other was unsafe. I called this beautiful, intelligent lady today and told her we had 3 amazing events this past weekend with little to no police presence, and we had 0 incidents. That didn't happen by circumstance or happenstance. That happened because we are civilized people.
Absolutely.
That happened because we know what we want to do with our lives, and we don't need nobody to tell us how to act around each other. We can be ourselves. We can have fun. We can be comfortable in our own skin. We can flourish. We're not going to kill each other when we come together. That ain't going to happen every time we come together, but what we have to be willing to do is call out those few bad seeds that we do know exist in our community. All of us ain't dangerous. All of us not trying to kill each other. But we do have some brothers and sisters that are a little bit twisted, that have been touched in some way. We know who they are, and we need to pull them to the side. We did a showcase on Saturday night in Bridgeton. We had 26 artists from across Cumberland County down in the city of Bridgeton. We had over 250 people in the building, and I'm telling y'all, I had Bloods, Crips, we had Grape Street, we had, you name it, they was in the building.
Nice.
We had a security team there, and law enforcement going around every once in a while. We had 0 incidents. All the people wanted to do was have a good time. We've been programmed so long that we've been separated, and we don't even come together to enjoy ourselves. We keep buying into this notion, only time we get together is funerals. No, that's what what they want us to think.
Right.
Our families come together all the time, and our communities do too.
Absolutely.
And that's what we got to keep pushing.
But you have a special way of speaking truth to power. And sometimes you need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you need to be, say, we're not going to have that up here.
Exactly.
You know? And I don't walk in fear, but I'm strategic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time. I had never been sued until I got this job. But I'm not reckless, you know?
Right.
So we can be strategic, not be reckless, and always speak truth to power.
Yes.
It does
Absolutely.
resonate with folks.
Absolutely.
At a core level.
Yeah, a lot of people say I don't open my mouth unless I preach. So everyone knows me for preaching or, speaking up. I speak wise. And I expect everybody to take heed when I do speak for that specific reason. Because if I'm silent, I'm okay. But if I have something to say, then it must be important. So I take that. Thank you, Madam Prosecutor, for sure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back to close out the show hearing from our youth. We got 2 powerful young men coming on, and we have Chloe back up here with us. Make sure you stay tuned. Again, we salute our special guests for coming on, sharing their insight. Again, we'll be back after these short messages.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here, and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find Him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find Him. That's by personal experience with Him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to Him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud. face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Are you just part of the crowd?
Do you feel isolated and alone?
Do you wish someone would see your gifts?
Would you like to be seen as an individual?
A person of value.
Full of life and purpose. Part of a family that cares?
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find Him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find Him. That's by personal experience with Him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to Him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Are you just part of the crowd?
Do you feel isolated and alone?
Do you wish someone would see your gifts?
Would you like to be seen as an individual?
A person of value.
Full of life and purpose. Part of a family that cares?
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
What's up, everybody? We're back on set with the Catching Up with Coach show. We have 2 young men here, Justin and Jaden, twins. And they're going to talk to us a little bit about how they feel as young men in the climate of our community today. We'll start with Jaden. How do you feel being in the community? Do you feel safe, and what can we do as adults to make it better for y'all?
Most of the time I feel safe. Like, I try to do things to take my mind off of everything that be going on outside, and I try to stay away from that. But when you like we live right across the street from the park, and we just go there sometimes so we got something to do instead of getting in trouble. But then when you hear about all those shootings and stuff and like kids dying over there, you just don't feel safe. You just want to stay in the house.
Wow. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, majority of the time I feel safe. Only because I like when I be with him a lot, and I know like he's like the smarter twin or whatever, and he make better decisions when we outside and all that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy just being outside, and then the next day you're hearing about somebody getting shot and stuff like that.
Wow.
How does it feel knowing that some of your peers are being taken down by gun violence, or even just having a gun, or into any violent activities? Does it make you worry about who you're friends with, what the next person's going to do?
I don't worry about it too much because I know how to stay away from that stuff, but like I still like worry about them. Like it's hard seeing them go down the wrong path.
Absolutely.
Like
what are some suggestions that you have, since you are the youth and you said you're friends, you make good decisions for yourself, but what are some suggestions, or like, yeah, what would you suggest that we could do to help your friends?
Just like make more activities for them to join into, like how JT be having the PAL games and stuff like that, and like the things that he be doing at the center. And yeah, just having more activities like that.
Sometimes stuff like that work, but like some kids just don't want to talk to somebody they don't know, and some people don't really feel like meeting anybody new. It really depends on the parents. Like they gotta be involved with the kids' lives.
So that goes back to the parents. From their mouth, you hear it's the parents. We have to hold it. It has to start with the parents.
Absolutely, and holding them accountable. And I challenge all of you, even if you're a kid, if you're an adult, I challenge you to take the initiative to just be there. Go to sign-ups, go to these parent meetings, go to all of these different things that we're offering in a community, because we have all of our kids here and they're speaking up. And what more is it going to take for them to do? They're sitting here speaking up for you guys. So all the viewers watching, we have 3 young kids here who are willing to come and speak some positivity. So join the fight.
What about you, Chloe, from a young lady's point of view? How can we make you guys feel more safe, and things that we could do and develop for young ladies?
Honestly, I think the points that Jaden and I forgot your name, Justin have hit are basically all that you can do, I guess.
Wow.
And honestly, I just think maybe creating, again, safer communities that, we would feel comfortable and safe speaking up in, because like you said a lot, all of these fights and this violence starts from like stupid things. And especially now with like movements like body positivity, which it's like separating from its actual meaning.
Absolutely.
It's now promoting obesity and stuff, and you see other people have opinions, and then you see other people get attacked for having those opinions.
Wow.
Which, again, in turn makes children feel unsafe for just speaking up about something that they just don't agree with.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing from you, Chloe, is people need to stop judging.
Also, it was the point that Chloe mentioned, and it had me think about a conversation I had with a high school girl. And it was a very minor situation over a boy, and I'm trying to get through to her. But she hit me with, she said, but it's important to me right now. And that's oftentimes what we have to, as adults, as the leaders, as parents, have to remember that we may not think it's important, or we may say, you know, why are you dealing with that, dismissing it, but really, that's what our children need. That's what's hurting them at that point. And also what I learned from working in the high school, being in there, is these are adult-looking children. They look grown, right? But mentally, they're babies, they're children, so they're battling, dealing with adult problems, adult issues, adult responsibilities. But I don't want to say immature, but they're children, so it is immaturities, but with that children level of thinking. Absolutely. So I'm glad John brought it to the parents, because I was sitting here thinking, like, I hold the parents accountable, because I know parents that would rather work overtime than raise their children, so they can blame other people. I'm sick of that. Like, for me, being a mother with only a one-parent home raising a son, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I hold parents accountable all day. And it definitely starts there.
I also think giving kids the voice, right? We often talk about holding the parents accountable and doing this and that, but we have to listen to our children, right? They're the ones dealing with it on a daily basis. They're going through life, managing every single day. Have you asked your kid, how was your day? What was the most difficult part of your day?
Right.
What was the best part of your day? Who do you aspire to be? What's your purpose? What was your purpose today? Every day we could have a different purpose. What was your purpose today? Right? All of these things that we're not asking our children, but they have an opinion on. We're steady giving direction, but we have to open up and listen and meet them where they're at. Some kids may not be the best at school, and you're wondering why they're getting all Fs. Well, maybe they're just not a school person, but there's ways around it if you talk to them and say, hey, what level do you think you're at, and what level do you need to be at? Maybe we can help you get a tutor, right? Maybe we can talk to somebody in the community to help you, or maybe you have a peer that can help you, right? We do it for sports. We can do it for school also.
Wow, that's powerful. Yep.
Right?
Definitely. And I totally agree about the accountability part, because when situations happen, a lot of times I'm one of the first people that people hit things with. Why would you continue to have basketball games there? Why would you continue to have events? Don't you know this is going on? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop. Because, negativity. And then sometimes I got to not be so aggressive, because I'm still trying to learn how to be politically correct sometimes. But when you're passionate about things, it's hard for you to kind of have that muzzle sometimes. So my rebuttal back to them was, the thing that offends me about some of y'all people that say stop certain events is the people that you have in your household is worse than anybody that I would have around the kids. So stop acting like you're Mrs. Goody Two Shoes or Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Holier than thou.
You have worse people in your household, in the sanctity of your house, that you know have guns, that you know have drugs, and whatever they're into, that your kids actually have to be in the same space with. So when I have a game at a public park or something like that, that's what I take into consideration. That they're coming to be in a safe space.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to try to hold me accountable for continuing on with a basketball league or events that's trying to counter the negativity, then be that worrisome about who you have around.
Absolutely.
And I think if we start doing that, looking in the mirror, everybody, myself, things in my personal life that I feel as though I could do better from time to time, things that I can say that continue to cause different issues in itself. It's all about that personal stock that you take to not be a person that's causing issues and causing pain. Like the prayer of Jabez in the Bible. Not to be religious, but Jabez's name meant the one born in sorrow. But he said, when he got older, he said, I know my name means sorrow, but he said, God help me to where I will be a person that don't cause pain. Enlarge my territory so I can be a better person than
so I can be
my
a
genealogy, than what I come from. I'm expected to fail, but help me be better. You know what I'm saying? And if I think we all take on that.
And that's a man walking with a purpose. Absolutely.
Enlarge my territory. Cause me that I won't cause pain. And if people will internalize that, knowing where you come from, to be like, I know what it feels like to hurt, so I don't want to hurt. And if I think we can spread that message, I think we'll be good.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go around the table before we close, leave everybody with some words of inspiration, and we can start with Miranda.
Okay, yes, so it's your homegirl, Miranda. I just want to go back to, it was a lot of great, powerful points that were brought up. I still say mental health screening for our children, parents, if it's something, a policy that we have to put in place for that to be like mandatory. Definitely accountability, that was something that we've all said. Connecting our youth to these programs through via transportation, going door to door. knocking on the doors as a street team. I agree with that, and I'm all for that. So, again, all positivity. Like I said, I believe Madam McCrae said, we all have challenges, and we are all imperfect. But if we set out with the purpose to be positive and wake up with that and lead that way, and then we have our support system to fall back on if we get into a situation, just steady move forward is forward. No matter how small the step may take, how long it may take, forward is forward.
That's right.
Hey, it's me, Zykia, as usual. Hey, guys. I just want to leave y'all with some words of inspiration. Just because we've been having a lot of loss and deaths in our local area for pretty much the whole summer. So love on the people who love on you. Support the people who support you. Join a team. Don't try to be a team by yourself. We're more than willing and open to work with you guys. If you have any ideas, please feel free to contact us. Any one of us that you've seen here today, we're open to all of your ideas, and we can't make it happen by ourselves. So like I said, I'm challenging you guys. We're all here at the table. Now I'm challenging you. So let's see what we come up with. Peace and love always.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, call, text, DM individually to group, reach out to us, because we won't know what direction to really focus on or what to go on. But if you have a problem and an issue, we know resources, we know who to connect you with. So
absolutely,
that's reach out. Like, challenges on you. We passed the ball to y'all. Look, we passing the ball to y'all. It's in your court. So that's
when Madam President was talking about the Future Remix, every time I come on Positive Vibe with JT, I talk about Future Remix. Y'all don't know I talk about it, but I literally go down and talk about all the activities that are posted for children to do, for kids to get into, for even adults to get into, so we can all come together as a community and build it up. So I challenge you guys to go on that futureremix.org and attend at least one event before the summer's over, and support your local community.
Exactly. Chloe?
Kind of spinning off what you said about being passionate and seeing kind of tunnel vision. What is important now might not be important to you later in the future. So take a step back to really realize and just analyze the situation that's going on. So I guess it's just more of have a sense of mind and be you, but still be open to hear opinions other than your own. And to be able to take in information, because you don't learn by being shut-eyed and shut-eared, but you learn by taking in multiple pieces of information at once and filtering out what you believe to be wrong, what you believe to be right.
Absolutely.
However, you still hold that information to some degree of respect, that you remember it at least.
Come on, Chloe. Come on, Chloe.
My advice is just focus on yourself so you could do better at school, home, and just on yourself in general. Stay out of trouble and don't try to fit in places you know you're not supposed to.
Oh, yes.
To fit in.
Yes.
I think y'all should stay out of trouble, find something to do instead of being bored and getting in trouble. Because if you hurt somebody, you hurting two families. If you kill somebody, you're going to be in jail. Your family going to be missing you. And they're going to miss the person you killed.
Wow, that's powerful.
Thank you for that.
Wow, man. Look at our excellent young people. If that's not an inspiration within itself. The kids don't really understand. When I see them represent excellence, what that do for somebody like myself. They give you that extra energy to continue to do what we do.
Absolutely.
And like I tell people, love is the most powerful force in the world. If we lead with love, peace, grace, and understanding, we can help our fellow man, our fellow woman, and just find something to be an inspiration in yourself. Everybody has a positive vibe. God bless us all with a talent, with a gift to go out here and impact the world. And like I told the kids at Police Youth Week, God is not going to do what he has empowered us to do. He has given people the ability to sing, people the ability to construct, people the ability to build up, people the ability to tear down, and with those abilities, we can make the world a better place to live. Instead of us seeing somebody hungry, we can pull together and feed them. Instead of us seeing somebody without clothing, we can pull together and clothe them. And we can send them away with the solutions that they need right then and there, simply because we as a human family pull together and do it. You know what I'm saying? Although, you know, me, myself, I believe in a higher power God and, you know, Jesus and everything like that, but to speak in layman terms, we as humans should want to be accountable for each other to make the world a better place. This is the environment that we've been blessed to be in, and none of us should want to see each other suffer just because. And I think that if we just spread the love, spread our resources, and pull together, like I told them, like the ant mentality. They say that ants is one of the smallest organisms in the world, but because they pull together, they can do mighty things. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what we do as a human family. We come together with that ant mentality of building bridges and building one another up with words of inspiration and just, you know, being that support that we all need. Because regardless if you feel as though a person is strong or a person is a leader, everybody needs words of encouragement from time to time. And you guys represent excellence. You don't understand what it do to everybody here to see that our work is not in vain and everybody is not a case that needs to be so dramatically approached. It gives us a breath of fresh air to be like, okay, wow, we do have some good apples, some leaders that's coming up behind us, and everything doesn't seem like it's in vain. You know, because this work gets tiring, and it'll wear you out. So people say that y'all are our future, but y'all are our present too.
Absolutely.
Because y'all are the boots on the ground. Y'all go to school each day. Y'all in the community. Like you said, you have your eyes open, your ears open. So the only way we can be effective is, like they said, use your resources, reach out, let us know what's going on. You don't have to be a snitch or whatever they say, but if you know there's something that we could potentially stop, you know, from escalating, don't hesitate to reach out, because then it'll make you safe, because like they say, bullets don't have no name, and then if something gets out of control, then an innocent bystander may get hit. So everything snowballs without that accountability and without everybody pulling their own weight. So that's what I can lead everybody with. Just, you know, love yourself. Again, love is the most powerful force in the world. If you don't love you, then it's hard for you to receive love from anybody else. You know, God is love. But regardless of that, if you don't look in the mirror to be able to accept that I'm here for a purpose, that I'm here and I'm placed in this day and this time to make an impact, it's going to make everything seem that much harder in your life.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to wake up day to day and everything is going to be a drag. Oh, I don't want to do this. But when you find purpose, you'll wake up rejuvenated each day, and you'll go out there, like Zacchaeus said, ask your kids, how are they doing? You know, did you do something on purpose today? And once you begin to do things like that, you know, it'll be an eye-opener to yourself, and it'll keep you out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, again, thank you for tuning in. We all love you, but again, love yourself. Self-love will help you overcome a lot. You know, be encouraged, stay strong, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.